Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar that is going to cover some of the trends that we observed in club technology this year. We hope that for all of you in your clubs, 2023 has been good to you and you're looking to carry that into 2024. What we're going to deliver for you in this webinar is some of the ways that we have seen clubs use various pieces of technology to better service their members or improve the fluidity of their business processes, or maybe even both. Some of the tools and/or deployment methods that we chat about today, you may already be using, but if not, we hope we can spark some ideas as to how you can use your club technology to create an improved operation. So joining me today is Matt Cooper. Matt is our Director of Inside Sales, and he will be providing us with live demos of the topics that I touch on today. And to introduce myself, my name is Brendan Butchermus. I'm a Marketing Associate here at Jonas Club Software, and I'll be the host for the webinar. So just quickly running through the agenda for the session. First, we're going to talk about how clubs are improving their member-facing technology by adopting the new ClubHouse Online mobile app, as well as revamping the designs of their websites to give their club a more modern and elegant digital footprint. After that, we're going to jump into mobile POS and the ways clubs are being creative and using it to create new streams of revenue. Next, we'll talk about a very popular new addition to our core booking module that allows clubs to make any of their facilities bookable online. And the last topic we'll touch on is the value of sending NPS surveys to your members and how Member Insight can help you execute it. And as always, with whatever remaining time, we'll use for a Q&A where we hope we can get to all your questions. So just quick housekeeping notes for this session. All your lines are muted, so please use the chat box if you have any questions. And as I mentioned, we'll try to get to all of them at the end of the session. A recording will be sent out either later today or sometime this week in case you want to rewatch it or pass it along to someone else at your club. So keep your eyes open for that email in your inbox. Just a little background on us as a company. We have over 250 employees and have completed over 5,000 installations worldwide across our 13 brands. We specialize in 3 areas. First is our back office technology, which is our enterprise management systems. This is the blue section of the chart here. In red, we have our web and mobile solutions, or maybe better referred to as our member-facing technology. And in green, we have our value-added products. We offer a member intelligence platform, business intelligence solution, as well as a HR and payroll service designed specifically for clubs. We understand most clubs operate essentially as distinct businesses under the same roof, and we want to be the one-stop provider for all your technological needs. So for that, we offer technology spanning across the entire club operations, such as accounting, fitness, food and beverage, sports events, and even sailing and marinas. All right, so let's jump right into it here. The first major trend from 2023 that we noted was seemingly now more than ever, clubs are looking to better provide their members with better and more seamless ways to interact with their club via the mobile device. It's likely that right now there's a greater percentage of your membership base than any other previous time that expects to be able to interact with your club via their mobile device the same way they would with any other business. So thanks to our friends at GGA Partners who have provided research on this, the largest growing demographic at private clubs is Generation X. So these are your members who are currently between the ages of 43 and 58. And it's likely that they have been using a mobile device for over 10 years now and are comfortable with the technology and are therefore coming in with the expectation that they'll be able to book a tea time or make a dining reservation or register for an event using their devices. So it's important that clubs not only meet this requirement in terms of the technological offering, but also have an app that resembles the prestigious image of the club's physical facilities and have it resemble the quality and design that members are likely used to seeing when they use apps for other major brands. So in order to help private clubs better achieve their technological goals, in February of 2023, we launched our new ClubHouse Online mobile app. The major difference with the new mobile app and the existing mobile app is that clubs now have a seat at the table in terms of the design process for their app. Our app design team meets with your club to understand your specific technological and design needs in order to create an app that is unique to the club. The app also has a couple cool new features. So first is that biometric sign-in is now available. So if your members want to be able to automatically log into their app using facial recognition or fingerprint, they have the ability to do so. Clubs now also have the ability to create content-only pages, whereas in the past, you might have had to mirror a web page to your application in certain instances. Now, instead of doing that, you can make unique custom pages in the app, which create for a much better user experience. It's important to mention that the modules in the app are fully integrated to your ClubHouse Online website. So if you have members that are accustomed to using the modules on the website to make reservations of any kind, these modules in your app will have the same processes, so existing members will not have a large learning curve to go through. So now I'm actually going to hand it off to Matt, and he is going to give you a live demo of the app.
All right.
And Matt, I hope I send the presentation to the right device here. Let me know if I got that right.
I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
On here, should be starting up. All right. So I'm going to open up here is I do have a couple other applications on here, which are some examples of the custom one, but the Gracelands demo that I'm going to be going on and is going to be the one that is available for anybody else to download, log in, and go through the member experience on here. And I apologize if it looks like I'm not looking at the camera because I am actually looking down at my phone here for this. But going into the Gracelands, I should already be logged in, which I am. So hello, Roger Smith. It has that recognition up on top of it. I will log out here in a second to show what that biometric process looks like. It's the same as if you download another app. As soon as you download it, would you like to receive notifications? Message pops up. Would you like to enable facial recognition? That pops up. You select that at the beginning. If that is something you want to set up down the road as well, it's going to be in your phone device settings for both the notification side and the facial recognition. So if you click no at the start and find out, yep, I'd like to enable that feature, that's controlled in here. The other nice part is it's going to be the same username and password as the website. So it's a fully integrated app solution. You don't have to set up another username, another password. We all have hundreds of them now, it seems like. So not having to remember that stuff is great. That's why I try to use facial recognition on everything on here. So that's going to pull that piece in. And then what you see, the biggest difference is going to be the design look of this. Is completely different from our previous versions. Our previous ones are more of a grid version only. And what that was is pretty locked down into every app, looking very, very similar, besides the branding, which is going to be the logo, what they download from the app store on that particular device. But going into here, the look of this is different. This is a landscape overview. It's a little jittery on the presentation side. On my side, it flows very smoothly. So you can have a scrolling image like this. You can do a static image. If your members do like more of the grid style, we do have that option also available. And then the navigation from the top bar there on the right-hand side, this is all configurable, what you'd like to have available into there, as well as the navigation across the bottom ribbon down there. So this one does enable up to 6 icons to be displayed. Statements cuts off a little bit, so best practice I think would be like 5 or less. And then underneath one of those icons, you can nest as much information as you'd like. So under booking, this can be every single type of reservation that's available at the club. This can be through Jonas. This can be outside of it. This could be a purely web-based page linked through here. And I'll show on another area into here as well too. It's under Eat. This can be everything F&B related. And what I mean by having another web page outside of here, with our previous versions of the apps, if I went to click on a link that was not within the Jonas environment, so statements, court booking, the calendar, it was opening up an external web page. Within here, you have the option to keep anything outside of the Jonas area natively within the mobile app. So it doesn't sound like much, but in terms of opening up another browser page, what that would have done is when I clicked Meet the Chef, even though this brings up a blog about golf naps, sounds interesting. But if this was opening up a web page, what you did is it would open up a new browser on the device. So I'm on an iPhone that would open up a Safari web page. I wouldn't be able to toggle back and forth, jump right back into the dining information about the club. I would have to minimize that web page, open the mobile app back up. So at a navigation standpoint, from going into these different pages outside of a Jonas environment or another web booking application, it allows you to keep the members all within the app. So the branding experience of the club stays natively in there, and I can jump back to the home screen. You are currently using a branded app with Jonas. If they do download or you move over to the new one, does not require another download from the member. It's going to transition automatically. So they'll go in, they'll get the announcement, hey, on January 1st, we're launching a new mobile app for the club. Members don't have to do any action from there. They go into it January 1st once the new one's live. They'll see this new look and feel into here, and then they'll still be familiar with the process of going and viewing their statements, going and making a tea time reservation, making a golf booking. That stuff's still the same. The navigation will change out of there as a little bit though. All right.
Awesome. But now, Matt, you can see, I just want to confirm you can see my screen now.
Yep, absolutely. Good.
Perfect, perfect. So sticking with the topic of clubs looking to enhance or modernize their digital offering for members, the next theme of 2023 we wanted to cover is the increase of clubs looking to update their websites and give it a more elegant design and improve the user experience. So just quickly, let's talk about some of the tactics clubs have been using in 2023 to make their website the best it's ever been. So first is the use of widgets. And essentially what widgets are little pre-made snippets of code that can be inserted into a website's backend. And one of the most advantageous things that they can do for your website is making it responsive, which means that regardless of the device that the member who's visiting your site is using, whether that's desktop, tablet, or mobile, the content you've put on your site will automatically be resized to fit their device. Widgets can also allow you to insert dynamic content onto your website. Most frequently, we see this show up in the form of clubs creating different website experiences for public users versus their members. So for example, with dynamic content, you can set up your tee times pages so that members who are logged in will see a list of upcoming member golf events, whereas someone that is not logged in would not see that information. The best part about using widgets is they're very easy to maintain. We realize that whoever is the administrator for your club's website probably also has other duties, so they don't have all day to spend working on the site. And unlike with traditional website coding, widgets allow you to insert content that you want on your site, whether that's images or videos. And like I said, without knowing those coding languages, you can have that content show up dynamically, which gives clubs a lot of freedom and independence when it comes to developing and maintaining an impressive looking website. So additionally, a major key in maintaining your website will be ensuring that you're using the latest version of ClubHouse Online in order to take advantage of the new features that we're adding, such as the widgets example. General best practice is to update a business website every 3 years or so. And within the last 3 years, we know a lot of clubs have made major facility upgrades and are now using their website to show off all the hard work that's gone into improving the club. And a great way to show off those upgrades is by creating top-notch photography and video to put on the site. So now in 2023, many clubs are now catching up and making redesigning their website a priority in order to add that content and take advantage of these new ClubHouse Online features to create the best possible digital footprint from the club. It's worth mentioning that the ClubHouse Online website redesigns are done with our in-house web design team, where similarly to the new mobile app, they will meet with your club so they understand what your club's wants and needs are for your new website and execute based on that. So now actually, I'm going to pass it back over to Matt here, and he is going to take us through a couple examples of ClubHouse Online websites that were designed this year.
Perfect. All right. Screen share. All right. Brendan, are you able to see Graceland's I've pulled up right now, just the demo site?
Yep, all good there.
Okay, perfect. So these ones that I'll roll out and these examples are all ones I can send. And we'll just do a quick overview on kind of these different design elements on each one of them. From websites in the past, and if your website needs refresh or anything like that as well too, you will see that these ones do look quite different. This one's for the British Club. Great one, does a video in the background. And the way that we did it, it's little tiny pieces that really make the whole thing come together. So from your header on the screen being bolder as you're at the top of the website, and still tracing that as you move down, it just shrinks it up a little bit so you get more of a view on that particular page. Simple ones, how the logo spins in here as I scroll down the page is a really unique setup feature. Color items into here, and these are all widget blocks. I'll get into a little details on how we do these as well. But going in, hovering over each one, how it highlights, brings up different images for that as well too, or just some of the design elements. How world-class luxury stays in as we scroll down past these different content areas into here. And each one of these are different widgets as well. Back into some different programming into here, and then the footer at the bottom of the page. So British Club Singapore is actually pretty unique as well too, because we do have, it's very little, but we can switch to dark mode as well too. Depending on time of day that this is being viewed, it's gonna be a little bit easier on the eyes as well. So the unique part about these are each one of these are considered widget blocks or content blocks. And when we say a custom website is, Jonas sometimes had the stigma around it that, oh, everything's templated, it can't be customized. each one of these areas, yes, these are content blocks, so these are part of a template, but each one of those different blocks can be customized into there. So depending on that level of it, the customization, our in-house team will be able to assist with getting that exact content piece you like into there. So I'll expand on that a little bit more in a couple minutes. But going in, Lonesome Valley is another one that's pretty unique. They did a video in the background, but they did their header a little bit different. It's a see-through header on that piece as opposed to having the block when to call that out. Once again, though, as I scroll down the page, the header will fill in the background, so you can get that call to action a little bit quicker to get you through those particular pieces. So they did a video one, Toronto Ski Club. They just did images in the back end, so this one's a little bit different setup. Once again, you can choose to have it as a header that is going to bold and take over top of that image, or you can have it as a see-through or opaque style one. So once again, this pulls in those pieces. This one's a little bit different because it doesn't have the video one playing, but it has different options you can see as I hover over those different widgets, content blocks in here. This is going to be an image. These are going to be 4 different images with content going over top of them, information about the club, headers and footers. Admiral Cove's another one as well too. I believe they did the video in the background as well, but they chose to have the banner locked in the top. You still get the full video image screen into here. And then the graphics populate the page as you scroll over them. The cool part about these as well too is these are all mobilely responsive. So that same graphic effect will populate on the mobile app as well too. So as they come up onto the screen, then to take this a layer further is on the mobile app itself. If I'm on the phone, that same graphic's going to pull through to the phone. It's going to link through within that particular content block on the phone as well. So going in, the other unique part is when we say customized, is the fact that you are not going to be locked in particularly to, hey, I can't change a block. I can't go in to this content block on here and change the image because it's customized. No, that's not true. You can go in, we give you the tools, so those are still configurable after the fact. So you can have a custom content block, but you can still go in and edit those images. So the good part with Jonas and with our website teams, the training that comes with rolling these pieces out is you're going to have the tools to make changes to your website. We don't want to lock you into a particular design because the seasons change. I live in 4 seasons here. It's in winter. I probably, on my demo site, this is my personal club, and I ran the website for them, I probably wouldn't have a picture of a kid playing the leaves anymore. I'd update something with snow on the ground, how they light something around those lines. So editing that content is very, very easy to do. I'm logged in as a member now. Let me actually log in as an admin. Spend another minute on here so I can show you guys the content management side. Going in, I'm as an admin now. Club Central is where all the admin pages are going to live. There's other areas in here like event management, user, helping them reset passwords, that stuff. But the content side of it is going to be underneath the pages into here. And our editing is going to Member Central here, which is that landing page. These are all the widgets I was referring to. I have a static image banner, which was actually scrolling underneath there. Or this is the child playing. We have an announcement bar, 70-30 split. If I want to update any images on here, all it is clicking the cog wheel, going to configure. I pull up my media library. I can select a different image in here, which they're all fall. I don't have any winter ones, but I like the landscape shot. Update that, save and close. Now, as soon as that populates, members refresh the page that they're on. They log in for the first time. The static image banner is going to be there. And then if I want to add new widgets underneath any of these areas, I can click here, add new widget. And then that allows me to pick those different types of areas and widgets in the editing, creating pages, building those out. So the content management system is very, very easy once you get into here. I just wanted to highlight that feature as well too, that you don't have to go through a support person to make sure that, oh, I want to change my images, I want to update my text onto there, anything like that. The tools are in the tool belt, which we want our clubs to be able to keep their websites updated to their standards as often as they'd like with that piece. With that, Brendan, I will pass it back to you.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you very much, Matt.
Yep.
All right. Just want to confirm you can see my screen there.
Good to go.
Awesome. So now shifting away from member-facing technology, in 2023, a major theme amongst clubs was a heightened importance on providing their members with the best service possible. And part of that is being able to serve your members wherever they may be in your club. So to assist in doing so, many clubs looked this year to add mobile POS capabilities to their technological tools, and by doing so have increased member satisfaction through faster and more available service. One of the major ways that mobile POS allows for better member service is by speeding up the time it takes between when a member places an order and when they receive it. What mobile POS allows your F&B staff to do is take your members' orders via their mobile POS tablet or mobile device and have the order be sent directly to the kitchen from the table. And by doing so, eliminating the extra step of having your staff member return to the stationary POS device and manually punch in the order they wrote down. So this also reduces the amount of incorrect charges because staff can enter the member number right at the table and verify with the member that it is correct. Another important feature to mention is that with mobile POS, orders can be taken even when the device is offline. So this allows staff to serve your members wherever they may be on your property, such as poolside, on the patio, or out on the golf course. Clubs have also loved that mobile POS can be used in any dining area of your club. It's very easy from within the application to switch the POS menu that your server is using. All they need to do is choose the dining area that they are serving and the appropriate POS menu will be shown. Additionally, chits can be closed via credit card as mobile POS is integrated with Stripe, and cash or member charge is also accepted, so members aren't limited in their payment options. And so one of the coolest trends in all of 2023 was seeing the ways in which clubs have gotten creative and started using mobile POS to create new streams of revenue that had not existed at their clubs before. One of the prime examples of this was clubs creating pop-up stands to sell either food or merchandise for special events such as tournaments or other types of gatherings. It's also allowed many clubs that had not previously offered poolside or service on the golf course to begin doing so. And additionally, many clubs have been using the application for line busting, which is essentially taking a member's order while they are in line, so that by the time they get to the front, it's already ready for them. And this obviously eliminates extra long wait times, which of course members are always going to be happy about. So now Matt again here is going to take us through a demo of the application, and I'm just going to fire it up here, Matt, when you're ready.
All right, good to go.
Cool.
So just going to walk through the process a little bit. This is initial login screen. So when your staff gets there, they will, looks like the video popped away there, Brendan. There we go. So they'll log in, and then from here, this actually looks like a fast forward a bit. Perfect, there we go. So they'll get logged in. Club name's gonna be the same username and password they log in onto POS today. They do have the option to start their shift on the tablet. So if it's beverage cart, they don't have to go into the clubhouse and log in, or they can start it traditionally on the POS and they can log into the mobile point of sale option after there. With that, once they do log in, they do have to have internet connection. I apologize, the screen keeps configuring weird on my personal device, which I record this on, but it's going to pull in those sales areas. So they do have to have internet connection when they initially log in, as well as processing credit cards and stuff like that. You do have to have internet or cellular connection. But going in here, you have your configuration layout, new chits, open chits. I'm opening up a new one. I put in a table number. It's going to then prompt for me to assign a chit owner, and then I'll also prompt for covers as well too. So something like the beverage cart, you're not doing covers, it's one person, they walk up. You won't have to prompt for covers for that particular sales area. So we'll pull in based on the sales area that they are logged into for dining room here, it's gonna be table number as well as covers onto there. Right here is where it pulls in the cover screen. Once I submit, it's gonna pull me into my POS menu in here. You see I did a foretop. I have John there at the bottom. I have guest 2, guest 3, guest 4. I can assign members to those seats as well too. By clicking that pencil edit button, pulls that component up. Once again, I can just search off the list. I can go by member, number, name, whatever it is to assign a member. And I can leave seat 3 and seat 4 as guests in there if I'd like as well too. So you don't have to assign a member every time. It just comes for the settlement option at that point. If they want a member charge, got to have a member information into there. So I can now go through, tag any items on the menu that I'd like to add into there. As I'm going through, I'm just adding some drinks onto here. And then at the bottom banner there, I have next order, settle chit. If I want to send those items back to the kitchen, I will have to click send order, or if you do have bar prep printers, anything like that, it's the send order, which I just clicked. Now it goes in, I have that open chit. I can now open up another one by clicking on those empty squares, table number 2, go on and assign a chit owner. This will be a 2 top that I'm going to put onto this one as well. And then I can go in and continue taking those orders, which you'll see on here. Your modifiers will pull in, which I just did drink orders on the previous one. This one I will pull in a couple of the entree options. It pulls up the modifiers onto here. If there's anything that's not a standard modifier that's already existing in the POS today, that add note feature up there at the top allows me to click on that. So if they want extra dressing, they want it on the side, something along those lines. I think I have a typo on this one. I don't, my keyboard switched to split view like that. I don't recommend that, not a big fan. Though it is easier to type like that, it's not the easiest for me when I'm not used to it. So you can go in extra dressing, all this stuff that you type in there, those notes, those will go back on the prep ticket when it does get sent back to the kitchen. The other cool feature on here as well too, that is one of the newer releases, is the option to choose which items you want to fire. So if they put in drink orders and then they say, you know what, I want to put in my whole order now, but hold off, I want the appetizer first, I can go in, I can select which items I want to send back. So I know I'm going to send the drink orders back to the bar, and I want to send in 2 appetizers were ordered. There's a third one that they're going to have as an entree. I can go in and check that select item up there on the top. And then now I can check which ones I want for each one of those orders to be fired back to the kitchen or to the bar. So it gives me the option to kind of set some more controls and parameters if I know they're going to be dining for a little bit longer, if they want something different. When I do go back, it's going to prompt with not all the items have been sent. That is fine. That was done on purpose. The color coordinated, I apologize, I went a little quick there. The color coordinated will show different: green for sent, kind of an orangish brown if it hasn't all been sent, in red if you are in offline mode, no items have been sent to the kitchen. It will default with that piece into there. What I'm going for this one now is I'm going to go into the settlement screen, which you will see is pretty different from your standard full Jonas POS work terminal or workstation. The settlement option in here does pull in only cash, member charge, and then if you integrate, we use Stripe with this. Integrated credit card solution payment on here is Stripe, so beverage card, course, anything like that. And you can see a little bit better those color coordinated options there. Loading those chits, I'm going to go into the settlement screen. I can do all seat review items. If I need to void anything, I can void items on here as well too. And once this video is done playing, I will get into some of the differences as well too for a little bit here, because there are some differences between this and your standard POS. But right here, I can go in, add notes, modify quantities, void that item, which I just did right there. And now I'm ready to settle the chit. I'm doing a quick overview of it again. Looks good. Now I can go to the settlement screen. And this is where I can go in, quick member charge, cash, or credit card option into there. With either of those options, you can choose to include gratuity with those. Credit card does have a feature where a member can choose their gratuity amount that they want to include, either a flat rate, percentage based, or they can type in the amount of gratuity, or it's just built into those statements as well too. But Brendan, if you want to hit pause now, it should be good. I think this last settlement just does credit card, doesn't show anything different. So the one item I did want to note on here, though, there are some differences. So for example, if I have a 4-top table and I want to go in and they're going to split the appetizers 4 ways, I'm paying for everybody's drink, everybody's on their own for their meal. A chit split like that does have to take place at your regular terminal. The nice part is anything that's open on the mobile POS application is accessible from your standard Jonas sales terminal. So the settlement at that point, I would say, think of it as more of an ordering efficiency device. You do your settlement back at your regular sales terminal from that area. If it's on the golf course, if it's a banquet bar, I'm really not splitting items there. So the good part is this is a good full service POS system for those areas. Halfway house as well. It's just in full term food and beverage. I tell clubs it's more of an ordering device from there because some of the settlement options are a little bit different. So keep that in mind for it. The other cool part as well on here, which it doesn't really show well on my little demo tablet that I have, but there is the option to pick up open chits. So if you're slammed on a Friday night, Brendan and I are servers. Brendan walks through my section and Mr. Smith grabs his arm and says, "Hey, Brendan, can we get another round of drinks?" Brendan can go right on the tablet, pick up that open chit, which is me. It's my table. He can plug in those drink orders and then send it right back. Then as I go back to the table again, I can go grab that chit, take the entree orders onto here, fire them back to the kitchen, go right to my next table, take their drink orders, fire them back to the bar, next table, settle their chit out from there as well too. So it does have the option to pick up other server chits on here as well too. So it does improve some order efficiency on that level as well. If, once again, typical club industry, if somebody goes by and want another drink, I'm going to grab Brendan and tell him to bring me another round, and he's going to know that. So, and he'll probably know my drink of choice as well too at that point. So that's really the mobile POS side of things. Like I said, it's order efficiency, beverage cart, mobile banquet bar, does everything you need. When you go to the full service food and beverage side of things, the settlement option ordering handles all that stuff very well. It's the settlement options that does have some differences in the capabilities into there, but you can pick them up and close them out very, very quickly just by going back to the regular terminal from that point. Back to you, Brendan.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much, Matt.
Absolutely.
All right. So another creative way we saw clubs taking advantage of our offering was the use of our court booking module for more than just tennis courts. We know that the facilities that most clubs have available for booking goes beyond just tennis. So for that reason, we decided that our court booking module should do the same. And in 2023, we saw many clubs begin to take advantage of the flexibility that our court booking module offers. Just some examples here of the types of facilities that we have seen clubs use our court booking module for are obviously, other court-based activities like pickleball, squash, badminton, or paddle. But the flexibility of the module goes beyond this, as we have seen clubs successfully use it to allow members to book curling rinks, golf simulators, swimming lanes, skeet shooting, and it can even be just as basic as meeting rooms. And the really cool part about this is that if you already have the court booking module, it does not come at any extra cost. And it's actually very simple to set up, and I'm quickly going to pass it back over to Matt, and he's going to demonstrate that. I got you working like a NASCAR pit crew here, Matt.
Exactly, moving quick. Let me know once you can see. I just have the Gracelands brought up.
Yep, I see it there.
Perfect. Okay, so this does work on the mobile app as well. I'll do some flip overs to the cell phone emulation so you can see what it displays that on there. But court booking, tons of flexibility with this. It was really just kind of the only option was courts. So if I want to go in, I shouldn't say the only option was courts, but you'd only have an option to have one booking module onto here. We now have the feature to split this out. So going into my one particular for courts is I would have to go in, pick my particular court type. From there, I can go and make the booking. The way we have it geared now is because courts is more of a generalized booking application. There's equipment that you can go with it, like paddle boards, electric bikes. You can do meeting rooms, golf simulators. This works great for. Is now the call to action. So just going to courts and then trying to figure out what court type. If you have 10 different things underneath here, is you have call to action. So specifically for something like golf simulator, it's going to take me directly in to my. Oops, let me click on it there. It's going to take me directly into the actual simulator booking. So I don't have to go in, search court type because it's default on here. It's golf simulator only. And then I can now go, I can pick my booking length. These are default setups. So you can say the default booking length's always going to start at 1 hour or 2 hours. You can set up minimum player requirements into here as well too. I'm going to do a 2-hour booking. It defaults to today, but you know what? I want to figure out for Saturday what I have going. I can go in now on Saturday. I can pick my time. I think I have some tea time set up in here already, so I'm going to do a really late time. As you see, my simulators are wide open in here. That is definitely not the case, or ideally not the case. I'm just going to go on Golf Sim 3, book it for 8 p.m. Now I can start to enter my information into here. As myself, I set the threshold that you need to have at least one person booking. Some of these things you can say, hey, if you're going to book a tennis court, you need 2 players, unless you're going to book a ball machine with it for practice. But generally, it's going to be 1+ players, these types of areas. I can now go member, guest, or TBD. If you're familiar with the Jonas booking applications, these look all pretty similar. If I want to add another member, I can just go by name, pull myself up. If you do allow guest bookings into here, I can add a guest. First name, last name, and email, that's where they're going to get their confirmation sent to. So it is important that the members do enter that in correctly. If not, there's a TBD option as well too, which once it is booked, that does display on the back end as a TBD player. You can require thresholds to say that they have to have those filled in by a certain time frame. Same thing with guest fees. If there are guest fees for any of these, or if there's a fee to use the golf simulator, it will populate a total cost for that as well. These notes will flow in here too. So if Roger says Matt doesn't have his clubs, or Matt wants to try out your new Titleist demo set, blah, 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 whatever it could be, those notes do populate into the administrative side of this. So when those players are checked in to participate, those notes do pass through into there. But once that is booked, all you have to do is click book now, and that is completed. These do all communicate with each other. So the nice part about that is if I did have a tea time at 8 p.m. at night, if there's night golf going on, whatever it could be, is it's going to come up with you already have a reservation for that time period. So if it's dining reservations, tea times, events, those information, it does communicate, so the member's not overbooking with themselves. It keeps your utilization at the highest occupancy it can. So it's not that Roger can reserve all golf simulators at once, because Roger already has one reserved now. So that pulls in that side of it. The booking confirmation here as well too. Going back to the mobile app piece, using a Jonas mobile app, they get the confirmation via push notification can be configured. Email notification. You can also set up reminders as well too for this types of stuff. And then you do have the option, text messaging. Jonas does have that. I don't think we touch on it too much in here. Text messaging can be integrated with all of our booking applications as well too, so you can hit them with all three. Texting is always something I recommend if there's financial value tied to it. So something like a golf simulator, if it's 20 bucks an hour, if it's a personal training lesson, anything like that has a financial value, I do recommend clubs to potentially explore the texting option, because it guarantees, I mean, emails get looked at X amount percent, push notifications a little bit more, texting, everybody's getting that right on their phone, and usually doing it pretty quick. So from here, the last piece is Roger and Matt are on this reservation. Matt's going to get the same notifications that Roger gets. However, Roger being the booking owner, he's the only one that can go in and cancel the entire booking for both Roger and Matt. Let's say I told Roger, I told you I'm out of town this weekend, I can't make it. I can go in from my confirmation, I can cancel my booking. Roger's going to get the notification that Matt's been removed, but Roger still has his initial reservation. He doesn't lose it. So he can go in and plug in another player if he wants to on there. But Matt Cooper, myself, I have the option to remove myself. I just cannot control the whole entire reservation. So for two people, not a big deal. If you're starting to book larger pieces, if there's 6 people from the simulator, one of them can't make it, that player can go in and remove themselves from that reservation. And then all their bookings arrive under my booking. So this is everything. I can filter to a particular type. I can show relative bookings in here as well. But if I want to go in, I have grass court booked on here as well too. So I can go and edit, cancel, change those reservations. This pulls in everything from the reservation side of that suite. And the last piece is going into courts again, the mobile side of it. I'll just do a quick emulator onto here so you can see what it looked like within the mobile app, which by the way is now working. So that is up and running. The emulator, I'm going to jump to Sunday. We're going to look at tennis pickleball. I have these options, and this is where it's different. So instead of stacking up 6 right side by side by side, which you saw initially when I turned this on, it does allow them to scroll over. So from terms of booking, it's much easier on the eyes. I couldn't even imagine trying to look at that eye chart with 6 columns across. Would just be terrible trying to figure out what time it was. So this allows me to go in and book this. And the last piece on here too is you can show other bookings. So if there are reservations that court's reserved, you do have the option to have it display a member. So if you want them to join that reservation, that's an option, or you can just have it default as not available. If you do have it show member names who have that particular court reserved for that time, each individual member can even go a layer deeper and say, hey, I don't want my name to be shown on any reservations. So though it might say Roger Smith, it's just going to say Roger Smith. It's not going to have Matt Cooper as part of that reservation. So that's for all other members to see on there. But that is a court booking, so it's flexible. It's not tied into one page trying to find everything under court type. You can go in and have multiple call to action. So golf simulators definitely gonna be different from your pickleball reservations, and your electric bike reservations, or your hiking reservations to sign up for that group event. Those are all gonna be separate call to actions where you don't want them all nested underneath one area. However, court types, if you have multiple tennis court types, you probably want those nested all underneath court. So it gives the flexibility to have multiple options over there. That's all I have on courts. Brendan, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Matt.
Absolutely.
All right, Matt, you can see my screen there?
Good to go.
Oh, cool. So the last hot topic from this year we wanted to touch on is the increased emphasis clubs have been putting on gathering member feedback and beginning the process of getting a baseline to track to see how their club as a whole is trending in terms of member satisfaction. And the most universally adopted way to do this is by using NPS. NPS is used by top brands all over the world across essentially all markets. And one of the reasons I believe it's so heavily adopted is how easy it is to conduct for the company and how simple it is to respond to for the customers or clients receiving the survey. NPS just simply asks them, how likely are you to recommend us? And the survey is conducted on a scale of 0 to 10. Respondents that give a score of 0 to 6 are detractors, 7 to 8 are neutral, 9 to 10 are promoters, The total NPS is calculated by taking the percentage of respondents that are promoters and subtracting that from the percentage that are detractors. So NPS has a maximum of 100 and a minimum of negative 100. It's very easy to conduct, very easy to interpret results. So this year we saw a lot of clubs looking to begin to track where they are currently in terms of NPS and continue to monitor for changes in member sentiment. And the way they did that was by taking advantage of our application Member Insight. Member Insight is a member survey program, and where it differentiates from other survey platforms like SurveyMonkey or any other is that it integrates directly to your Jonas backend software. This means that you can set up the program to automatically survey members after they complete a POS transaction, where they can rate their experience or leave any comments that they have. And based on these comments, you can also take follow-up actions in case the member has a less than optimal experience. You can assign someone to reach out to that member and take whatever corrective action may be necessary. Important to note is that from within the platform, you can choose which types of transactions result in a survey, as I'm sure you wouldn't want to survey someone who just buys a soda off the golf cart, for example. And another cool feature in Member Insight is what we call tags. Tags are created from comments that members leave and allow you to identify popular topics amongst your members. So for example, if a member leaves a comment, saying the greens were not well maintained, Member Insight will automatically create a tag called greens. And from there, you can filter to show only show responses that mention greens. And this gives you the ability to analyze more in depth what your members have to say about any given topic. Reporting in Member Insight is also very flexible. You can narrow in on set date ranges to see how your club performed over that time span and compare it to a previous period. You can also combine those date range filters with filtering by department to get a more granular look at which of your departments are meeting your standard for member care and perhaps where there needs to be improvement. So for the final live demo of the day, I'm going to hand it back over to Matt here. And he's going to take us through Member Insight. And just confirm, I can see your screen there, Matt. Matt, you might be on mute there.
And that's never happened before. It's the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah, same here, man.
First time in the last 10 minutes. All right, so jumping into here, the way we have our demo environment set up is this is as if it's a multi-club property. So you can do multi-clubs in here. The vast majority, it's going to be singular clubs. So going into Red Oak specifically, there's 3 different survey types that display in here. There's actually a 4th one, which is a static survey. Just going through those really quickly. Relational survey is going to be, we send out this survey every 6 months. And then let's say you have 1,000 members of the club. It's going to survey all 1,000 members over that 6-month period. So it's not going to be January 1st, boom, 1,000 surveys go out. And then, hey, January is typically a rough month because holiday parties, time off, etc. Whereas March and April are better months. It gives you a good score over that 6-month period because it's going to be consistently surveying all 1,000 people over that 6-month period. And then it resets back at, would that be July 1st, June 1st? July 1st would be the second half of the year. We'll survey those members again. So it's going to take that out, spread it out. Your department surveys, Brendan mentioned, is NPS, or really NPS driven, because you want to know quick, easy feedback, but it's going to be POS driven, so based upon transactions. So if I go and have dinner as a club, depending on what you says thresholds, it's not every single time, unless you really want every single transaction within a given day. But you can set up a threshold, say, hey, every 2 weeks, potentially, I'm a frequent diner. Every 2 weeks, I could potentially receive a survey based upon the grill room. How is my service on a scale 0 to 10? How likely am I to recommend to a colleague? Anything like that. So NPS based 0 to 10, quick, easy feedback. And then why did you leave that score? That's the details where Brendan got into. It chops those items up, those responses into buckets. So once again, I send out 1,000 surveys or 1,000 come back in. I can go and dissect all 1,000 at a macro level. I don't have to go in and read every single response on there because I can go down and see, hey, here's how my staff and service is doing. We're getting a lot more positive mentions than we are negative, which are your detractors, which are 6s or below, or your negative scores. So you can see as a whole really easily, and I think I have this set up yet, the last 30 days, how we're doing in those particular areas. Then the last survey type, second to last, custom. You have a New Year's Eve party. I want to send out a survey based upon that particular experience. How is the decor? How is the food service? How is the atmosphere, was everything timely, those types of surveys about a particular event, that falls underneath a custom category. So I can send all of them at the moment that you go and send that piece. So custom pulls that option in. The last one is going to be static. And once again, going back to the mobile app, which I do have to plug, is now I am logged in. I finally got that one fixed. You can have a static survey built into their mobile app website that basically allows them to leave feedback whenever they want. It's going to be the same format. You can do an NPS based. You can ask 100 questions with that, 1,000 questions if you wanted to. There's no real limit that I'm aware of on that type of questionnaire. So your standard long format survey, you can add those into it. So you can bolt those into the mobile app. You can bolt it into a web page that just leaves feedback. Even if you want to send a push notification, you can take that static survey link, send it through a push notification to all members who have the app. They're of a specific membership type, a specific membership status, or just send it to a particular 10 people to take that survey. So you can do it via push, you can do it via email. You can bake it in the mobile app, the website, so your static surveys are going to be there to leave feedback as they see fit, or as often as they want, or not as often as they'd like. It's their decision to leave feedback as they'd like it. So that pulls in those 4 different types. The other piece as well too, kind of flowing back to those tag groups are going to be your star performers, which is really neat. It doesn't get looked at too often, so you're thinking survey tool, well, how can I use this for like the staff reflection point? So if you have annual reviews, if you have end of season, Jana gets mentioned in a really positive survey, you can go in and you can print it, post in the back of the office, do whatever you want as kind of a system of best practice. On the flip side, if I want to go to responses in here, and let's say I go up to Brendan, the GM, and say, Brendan, John is horrible every single time I come in here. He's rude to everybody, not just me. You can go in, search John in particular. It's going to pull up every single survey that John's been mentioned, once again, for the last 30 days, or I can change the threshold on time point here, timestamp. But every survey John's been mentioning seems to be a pretty good survey. So either I have a personal vendetta against him, I don't like him for some reason, or it was truly a one-off instance. Or on the flip side, I go and see, oh gosh, John's been mentioned in a lot of really bad surveys. So this NPS, he's all positive. There'd be a lot of red up here on top, so you can dissect it really quickly and say, oh gosh, yeah, like the last 15 days, John's been in a bunch of negative surveys. I'm going to go talk to him, figure out what's going on, see if there's something I can assist with to get him back on the right track. So you can use it for the employee internal side of it. And that's a really nice feature that doesn't really get considered too often when you're thinking about a survey type platform into there. So integrations, Jonas POS, membership database, I can set up any threshold to say I want to send it to just members who've joined in the last 6 months that have had point of sale transactions in the restaurant and the golf shop, and I can filter it to send to just them. So you can get very, very selective with this stuff, same with age, demographics, that kind of stuff too. So really powerful on that end. And then the last piece on here is going to be the action items. Call to action, what's going on, who needs assistance, basically what happened that made that experience poor. So right here, this one's perfect. Julie, the greens are in a bad state of repair. The level of course maintenance needs to improve. Well, is this a one-off? Is this pretty common? I can go into the history and see how many surveys that Julie's left. It looks like it's only just the one about the golf course, which is good. I can also dissect those tag groups to see how often it's been mentioned. With this one in particular, let's say Wayne is the superintendent for the golf course. This can go to Wayne for follow-up. This one though, I would probably send to the communications director, membership services, because really they're the ones that are going to reach out. They're going to engage Wayne. But this is going to, let's say Wayne is the communication. Wayne, as soon as that survey comes in, gets an email, Wayne can go right on his phone, see that email, see the history of surveys, and he can go in and call Julie immediately. This will actually format to a US phone number, not, I think this one's a UK number, but this will format to whatever phone number you have as the primary contact information within your membership database. Same thing with email information. If you want to send an email and link it here as well too. The more information you leave besides just saying all good, the better. So, next time if something happens at the golf course, the action that took place the previous time, you can have better corrective action this next time. So big, powerful tool there with notifying staff. It's mobile. They can do it on the fly, has the contact information for them to call or to see if they're at the club and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's Member Insight.
Awesome. Thanks again, Matt.
More questions?
Are Are we, or Matt, actually, are we able to go back to the mobile app, or no, we're gonna hold off on
Yeah,
that?
oh yeah, I can go back and let me get logged in here real quick. Or get logged into GoTo on here with it. So it kicked me off. And join in. All right. Perfect. All right, should be able to share, should be popping up here. Right. Let me know. Are you able to see my screen right now? Oh, hold on, pop. There we go.
Yeah, there we
All
are.
right. Perfect. All right. So back to the app. And it's not giving like feedback or anything. It's still just one voice.
Yep, all good.
So going back to the app, I am logged in now. My home screen does populate the upcoming events into here. And if I want to look at that, it's just going to be the club events that pull from the calendar. But if I want to go in and view statement, that's what I was trying to do earlier, it's going to pull up my statement information, just like the website piece. I can go in, drill down into any particular month still. I can look at any individual chitney here to view the details. So it's going to look just like the website, just from the mobile version. The other cool part that actually was released this year, statements, is this pending piece. So if I go in, I have lunch, I settle it, I pay with member charge, and you have not run your end of day business, it's a Sunday, accounting isn't in there, whatever, it will show up as a pending charge as soon as that chit's closed out, which is really nice. And then once you do run your end of day, that's when it'll go from that pending falls off of that particular piece of it. So that is tied in with the statement piece. If I want to go into any bookings into here, I can go in, select tea time booking. It's going to pull me into the tea sheet. I can go and pick my particular day. I look like I already have a tea time there, so let's jump way to the end of the day. QuickBook. I learned to play group, which is very accurate for my skill level. And go.
All right, so then Matt, are we good to move on to the questions then? I know we're obviously up against it for time here. Do you have a hard stop at 12?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay, I can go till about 12:10, 12:15. So let's go to the questions then. I'm assuming you can see them there?
Let me expand. Oh, there we go. Trying to get them a little bit bigger. Put them on this screen. So it looks like I'm kind of looking because I have an interesting setup here. So I will jump back to some at the beginning. So going in, so Lori asked, can members see their credit balances yet on mobile app or website? So yeah, the credit book can be linked through there by particular sales area. So Lori, just shoot me an email on this one or I'll follow up with you afterwards. So if there's golf shop credit book, F&B, I think it's 6 or 7 or so different credit books that can be set up in JCM on that side. But yeah, that can pull through to it. So that one will go in. And then are the statements of PDF file view or back office view club management inquiry screen? So it is the online, so the statement view, I know what you're talking about, the PDF side of it, where you can include all the chits onto one PDF. It's the one that gets emailed from Gmail. That one does display on the website, which you saw, which is just brought up there. So it does display similar to the web version. And do the food orders allow favorites for members making the turn to speed up their order process? So the food ordering, Gary, you asked that one. The food ordering that you saw in the mobile POS, that is staff facing. Jonas does have a member facing one called online ordering, where the members can go in and you pick. I'm not going to make my full menu available for online ordering, so you pick and choose, whereas the mobile POS is the full staff facing application. So it's full access to the POS menu. The online ordering one, you pick and choose. In terms of favorites, we do not have that. That is a good suggestion though. Typical to your standard Jones POS, you have order history that you can pull in. You know that Matt Cooper always orders the chef salad with these modifiers. You can go into order history and redo that. So standard POS has that one. Mobile POS is the staff facing side, doesn't. And then the online ordering, if you want the members to make their order, they're on the 8th hole, they want to grab it at the turn and go, that would be the online ordering application that we have. So when are we going to be able to split the check on the mobile POS? Jonathan, very soon. I will check with development on that one. We are very, very close to that on the release. So let me just get a quick check in with development on that side of it. That one's at the front end of it right now and getting very, very close to release. And then Dawn, you asked, can you use Quartz for a massage room, or is there another module for that? So Dawn, something like massage, if you want to tie in providers to that, commission structures. So massage is going to be two things. It's going to be a physical location. It's going to be a provider. So it's two components to it. So technically, if they're booking a massage room just to go in there and take a nap, they're not utilizing a provider, good to go. If they need a provider, they're booking a massage because massage rooms, they want to get a massage as well. At that point, our appointment booking application fills that void because it gives notification to the providers. It gives notification for that room being pulled out of inventory. Now, however, if that is a crossover location, so it can be booked for to throw a desk in there and have private call, conference, anything like that, and it can also be used as a massage room. If it's booked within the court booking application, it's going to take that specific facility out of rotation. So then if you are using appointment booking, that particular time slot cannot be reserved because that facility is no longer available. So the applications do communicate very well with each other. Then are lessons or any charges to be billed automatically, or do they have to be done manually? So those, depending on your cancellation policies, kind of play into that piece of it. It's done manually. So you do want them to check in. However, the manual process of it is if there's a guest fee, if there's a reservation fee or anything like that, it does automatically go from the booking module into the POS and launches and pulls those charges, the members into there as well too. So that part is automated. It's just the actual process of going in and charging them. If it's member charge, cash credit, whatever you take for settlement, that piece goes into there. And you do have to manually process that at that end. Jonathan likes member insight. Good, I do too. I came from the hotel world before Jonas, and I was in charge of doing all the surveys, and it was all public surveys. So, and I didn't work at the greatest properties, so I had a lot of fun with that job. If we have a call, a one-on-one call, I will get into the details on it. But then another one, is there a way for members to see detail regarding their food minimum on the website? Yes, minimums will go through. You'll see a food and beverage minimum under there. I don't know if we have it on our demo site. I thought we did at one point. I'll double check on that, but F&B minimums do pull through to the website and the mobile app as well too via the statement module. So just like the credit book will too. The mobile POSs are going to be an option for a layout at some point rather than just entering a table number. That is on the list of enhancements. I don't have a particular time frame on that kind of one. The big one right now that is at the front end of it is the chit split on the mobile POS application, but a layout has been definitely added to that list. If there are enhancements, if you are currently using the mobile POS, feel free to send me an email. I log all that stuff, our entire team does, and then we look at scoping it out, seeing what the level of work is involved, and then we prioritize things. So the more clubs that do require something like chit splitting, which is a very popular one, that one gets pushed to the front end of the development timeline out of there. And we get those pushed out as fast as we can. So hoping for a little more on the F&B side of the app. Oops, I scrolled, of course. Where did that one go? Do we need to book a separate time? I'd like to tweak as members or not like it. Yeah, Michelle, send me a note, send Brendan a note, send sales at Jonas Club, support at Jonas Club. We can definitely set up a one-on-one call to explore what areas you want kind of to improve upon, make sure everything's set up correctly in that end as well too for the club level as well as the member experience. So, can you pick up mobile chits from the main POS terminal? Yes, absolutely you can. So those mobile ones that are open up on the app, when you grab them from the main POS terminal, that is going to allow for settlement on there. So outside of like you saw member charge cash credit, if they're using credit book, if you guys use cash cards or gift cards and they want to pay with that, that is going to have to be completed at the regular POS terminal. So at that point, this is an ordering device. It improves efficiency when I'm taking 10 orders out on the patio or I'm running around by the pool and taking orders by the pool area in the summertime. That's going to allow for the order efficiency from that level. But yeah, those any chit that's opened up on here is accessible from the main POS terminal. Unless they're caveat, if they're in offline mode, it will not be available until they do reestablish either cellular connection or internet connection for that. Is there a mobile printer? Yes. So regarding mobile POS, yes, there are Bluetooth printers that can go with that piece, or they can be designated and set up for your printers that you already have established on your network. Mobile, you're out on the golf course, you're going to want a mobile printer potentially. I don't want a mobile printer because I purchased way too many not good for you items out there. But if you do want a mobile printer, yes, there are Bluetooth ones with that. We do have some hardware descriptions and compatible ones as well too that we can share. So just hit us up afterwards, send it over. Any new enhancements for the AR collection efforts, auto-generated collection notes, etc. Thomas, that one is not my specialty, so I'm not even going to attempt to go into that side of it, but let us know, because if I can dig into it a little bit more offline, and then we can get you in contact with the correct person to see kind of what areas you're looking for improvements on, if they're there already or not. Cost for web design from Jonas and Member Insight. So Michelle, it depends on amount of content pages on that stuff. So just let one of us know. Websites can range from $7,500 setup and roughly the same in annual, sometimes a little bit cheaper, up to a $20,000 website. So it just depends on what you need for the club. Jonas is all a la carte, so we're not going to jam tea time management if you're a city club. You don't have to pay for something you're not going to use. So that's where we can really narrow it in and get a good accurate quote for you. Redesigns as well too. If you are a current Jonas website, Brendan got into it, how important it is to keep those pieces updated. Doing the minor updates on your own, easy. I want to update an image from fall to winter, easy, easy. If I want to pull up my whole entire website and do a brand new design, our team comes into play there. So those are great options to use for that stuff as well too. And then, yeah, mobile POS floor plan, that is on the enhancement list. Once again, I don't have a timestamp on that one there, Connor. Signature capture mobile POS, that one is shortlisted. That will probably be coming out. I think I would guess that's going to be out just after our mobile POS chit split, the digital signature capture onto there. And then support. So Katie, the support one, how long does it typically take? It just depends on that type of stuff. If it's a bug fix, it could be a quick one. If it's an enhancement request, it could also be quick. It just depends on the scope of work and what needs to get done for that particular issue. So if you can shoot me a note, Matthew Cooper at jonesclub.com, I can pull up your kind of call log within our support team and get you a more clear update on there. But Michelle, you're welcome. Everybody took the time there. Brendan, unless you have any other recap, I got through all of them. And hopefully I didn't put anybody to sleep or anything like that. So.
No, that's it for me. Just again, thank you to everybody that showed up. We always appreciate you showing up to these, and hope you all have a safe and happy holidays, and we'll catch you on the other side there in 2024. All
Thanks,
right, take
everyone.
care, guys.